She was the famous beheaded queen of Europe, the second wife of Henry VIII. Although she gave the king a daughter, she could not escape a tragic fate. This woman was Anne Boleyn. She was beautiful and ambitious from childhood, unwilling to live an ordinary life. But her sister Mary was gentle and kind. Her father held great hopes for his eldest daughter, but Mary, who was less conventionally attractive, was betrothed to a merchant's son. On their wedding night, Queen Catherine gave birth to a stillborn child. This made the king's disgust for her grow day by day. Seeing this situation, the Duke of Norfolk immediately rushed to the Boleyn house. He claimed that since the queen had become useless, the king would naturally seek another woman as his mistress. This was why Anne was summoned to the duke's office. He told her that with her intelligence and talent, she would eventually win the king's favor. Then the entire Boleyn family would prosper with her. The opportunity came quickly. During a hunting trip, the king decided to stay at the Boleyn house for 2 nights. The entire family made extremely careful preparations. Anne also dressed with exceptional care. Her dazzling beauty was enough to attract the king's attention. At the banquet, they sat together with unspoken understanding. Although they barely exchanged words, the king was clearly very satisfied with Anne. Late at night, eager to succeed, Anne tried to enter the king's bedchamber, but her father stopped her in time, demanding that she perform brilliantly during the hunt the next day. In that era, men and women usually rode horses together. However, to prove herself different, Anne rode alone, wanting to compete directly with the king. The monarch was unwilling to lose to a woman. He pursued the prey with all his strength and ended up injuring his leg. He began to resent Anne. Her uncle and father immediately decided to have Mary care for the king. Mary thought she was just serving him, but the king, seeing her so gentle and pleasant, began to have other intentions. Although Mary insisted repeatedly that she was already married, the king used the excuse that the queen needed female companions and forced her into the palace. At a loss, Mary went to her father, planning to refuse this order. Claiming her husband didn't want to be involved in politics, the king promised to appoint her husband as a member of the Privy Council. That selfish man only thought of his own advancement and unhesitatingly sent his wife into the palace. What made it even harder for Mary to accept was that her sister began to distance herself from her. Anne believed Mary had seduced the king and was filled with resentment toward her. Mary had no choice but to obey and enter the palace. That night, the king summoned her to his bed.